Hello everybody, I'm here with Carl, which we had the honor of meeting at the conference here at the Inner. We had a lovely talk about going fast and going slow and how this can change our lives. How did it feel for you, Carl, to be here and have this talk?
I've loved every minute of it from start to finish.
Good. If you like what you're seeing, what you're hearing, please do share this with others because we need to slow down and we need to feel our own tempo. Thank you so much. Hello, Carl. Good to have you here.
I'm thrilled to be here.
Let's start from the beginning. The myth. Is being fast effective?
Fast is sometimes good, but not always. It's very simple. We live in a fast world, so many times you've got to be quick. But if you only have one mode, and that mode is turbo, then you're heading for trouble because you're going to burn yourself out. You'll be less creative. You'll make more mistakes. You'll end up racing through your life instead of actually living it. So there's a lot of power, joy, and beauty, and productivity to be drawn from slowing down as well. It's about striking the right balance between fast and slow, finding the right speed for the moment.
And how do you find that particular tempo in your life between being fast and being slow?
I find one way to know that you're at the right tempo is that you forget about the clock. You suddenly aren't worrying about whether you've got 3 minutes left or 10. You're just in the zone. You're in the moment. You're fully engaged with whatever the task is, and you forget about the timelines. And that's a really good sign that you're living or acting at the right tempo.
How do we learn how to stay slow in a world that's so fast?
I think finding slow in a fast world is a slow process, right? I mean, this is one of the ironies today is that everybody's so impatient they even want to slow down fast, right? But it doesn't work that way. It's a long-term undertaking. If you've got stuck in fast forward, you're marinated in speed, you're not going to acquire the calm of the Dalai Lama tomorrow morning, right? It's going to be a process of one step forward, one step back. You're going to have withdrawal symptoms. You're going to find slowness just uncomfortable at first. But if you stick with it and come out the other end, then you will realize that slow is the way to go. But there are many small things that we can all do along the way to reconnect with slow. I think getting into nature, just being in green space, we know that tranquilizes us, it soothes us, it takes us down a notch or two because nature is an antidote to slowness. Nature doesn't do speed or hurry. She knows slow. She is the mistress of slow. So that's one thing, getting into nature. I think it also helps to cultivate slow rituals, build them into your day. Could be some deep breathing, some meditation. It could be yoga. A lot of people do crafts like knitting. I like to draw, like sketching things. I'm not very good at it, but it forces me to do something that we very rarely do nowadays, which is to really look at something and then look again, consider, look from different, that it's such an uncommon act or art. If you build it into your normal schedule, it can vaccinate you against the virus of hurry.
How did slowing down change your life?
Well, I have a very clear before and after. My before was just speed. Everything was a race against the clock. My after, I still live a full life. I travel, do lots of things. And people sometimes look at my life and think, that doesn't look very slow. But what matters is what it feels like to me. I never feel rushed. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not worried about the time. I'm savoring the minutes and seconds rather than counting them. And so my life before and after, before I was just exhausted. I wasn't really that happy with things. Now I've got loads of energy. I'm not tired from going fast all the time. I get more done at work. I get it done better because sometimes I'm fast, but then I slow down. I change gears. So I'm able to find that sweet spot at work. I'm happier. I take more pleasure from things because I may do fewer things, but things I do them well, right? And I'm fully present when I'm doing them. And then my social relationships are stronger with people because I have more time for people now, and not just more time, more attention. I'm with people fully and body and soul when I'm there. I'm not thinking, is that my inbox? What's on I'm just actually there. So I just feel like I'm living my life now instead of running through it.
Those are a lot of benefits for slowing down.
Slow has an inexhaustible list of benefits. That's the weird irony today, is that we live in a society enthralled to the cult of speed. We're constantly bombarded by the idea that faster is better. Do things faster, your life will light up. It's so untrue, right? The opposite is true, that as soon as you start slowing down and finding the right tempo, the right groove, you start doing one thing at a time, giving each moment your full attention, your life goes from black and white to technicolor.
I love that. I love that. And what does that do for your creativity, for example?
Well, we know from history and science that there is a deep, powerful bond between slowness and creativity, and all of the greatest artists, business leaders, scientists have always understood this, that the brain needs to slow down. We need to be in a slow, mellow, unhurried state for the brain to shift into this richer, more nuanced, more creative mode of thought that, surprise, surprise, psychologists call it slow thinking, right? And it's there for all of us, right? That you don't need to be Picasso or Einstein, to tap into those deep reservoirs of creativity. We all have them. The trouble is when we get stuck in fast forward, we get disconnected from our creativity. We end up ticking boxes, skimming the surface. So slow down, take time to go for a walk, let your mind wander, and you'll find the creative fires juicing up, and you'll start coming up with lots of great ideas.
I love that. And what does that do in a team, for example? Or in building a product, an idea, a company?
What's that, slowing down?
Yeah, slowing down.
I think if a team slows down, you get all kinds of benefits. For a start, the human relationships are stronger. People listen. You start to trust each other. You can't build esprit de corps. You can't build trust in a team. You can't download it from Amazon, right? It takes time. It takes people having presence and being there for each other. So that's the cornerstone of a successful team, is strong relationships. You get that from slowing down, but you also get the creativity. When people in a team are free to slow down and move through the day at a rhythm that works for them, they become more creative. And the team itself then sparks off each other. Your creativity bumps up against mine. It collides with hers, his over there. And suddenly you've got this whoosh, this tsunami of creativity that would only ever emerge if you slow down.
And how do we take this in our families, in raising our children, for example?
Well, so many families now are stuck in a dash to the finish line. Family life is this juggling act, everybody rushing. But that's A, it's exhausting. B, it's not much fun. And C, it's actually not very good for children. Children need slowness. And the family relationships, the key unit for kids, is built on relationships, and relationships cannot be accelerated. No matter how much of a rush you're in, you can't make somebody fall in love with you faster because you want to get married in June, right? It doesn't, or you can't forge a deep friendship because you need somebody to backpack around Asia with you next week. These things take time, and it's the same in a family. The stuff that brings parents and children together, or brothers, is time. It's just time being together. It's not rushing from Kumon to tennis. It's just hanging out in the kitchen, maybe doing nothing. Having a joke, talking, dancing, laughing, a bit of homework here or something, just being together. Those are the moments that light us up, but they're also the moments that are the cornerstone of child development, is those slow moments, which is why there's a huge movement around the world for slow families, slow parenting, slow education. Children need slowness, desperately need it. And it's there for all of us, because we are naturally, as parents, when we get off the fast forward train, we get back to what's really natural, which is just being, not doing, less doing, more being. That's what parents ought to aspire to, just being together.
So one last question. If you could transmit one message to the entire world, what would you say? I have a guess there.
Yeah.
But
well, I got a ready line for that. Yeah. Do I have to say if I have one message?
Yeah.
Well, my message for the whole world is very simple. Counterintuitive, but very powerful. And it's this, that in a world addicted to speed, slowness is a superpower.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.